Well, I'm still echoing. Okay. You want me to connect to Skype? What about this record thing down here on studio? Well, there it is up here. Okay, now that's cool. Let's see. Where else am I doing here? McAfee. I need to do some audio changes here. Let me see. Is that good? No, that's on mute. That's open. Headphones monitor enabled so that you can listen to this playlist in your headphones. Okay, well that's good. I can hear the playlist. Okay. Do we have any music? Yeah, there it is. Music's good. But I need to stop echoing. Huh? Output. Um, Nothing's happening. Here you go. Yeah. Go ahead and put the music on. If I can just stop echoing. Now, can we stop the echoing? How's that? Would that be nice? I need to stop echoing. Can't echo. Talk first. I am talking. Huh? Turn the yellow headset off. Okay, we'll do. There it is. It's off. Huh? Down what? This one? The other one? Okay, that one. Okay, I'm cool now. Yeah, there I am. Turn the other head. This one. The other headset back on. Up top. Okay, there we go. I got music and I got sound. So am I coming out over there with you? Loud and clear. So, ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe it. We are actually live at 6:03 p.m. Pacific, 2/6/2023. Unbelievable. Now, if we can just get Max in here uh, when he calls in, how will we do that? I'll have to let Mary jump in here in the pilot seat and drag him in here as soon as he gets off work. He is working late this evening. Don't know exactly when he's going to get in here. I'm going to have my producer go over to all the pages and listen to see if we're live tonight. And if we are, that'll be a miracle, I tell you. Good to be here on Spreaker, ladies and gentlemen. My gosh, yes, broadcaster version upgrade to Anchor. Man, wow, how impressive is that? Interesting, interesting weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Got some relaxation time in and kind of kick back, still off my diabetic medication. I'm actually going to take my medication when Max gets here. I'm going to wait until Max gets here. If it takes all night, and I'm going to shoot myself in the belly with this thing. Haven't had it in over a month, I think. I've been out of this medication, my Trulicity for my diabetes. As you know, all of the fat people have stolen it off the shelves. It's gone. They have come in and just raided all of the drugstores to lose 2 or 3 pounds since Big Pharma found out. Oh my God, Trulicity helps people lose weight. Man, the diabetics are dead. We're all dead. Fat people are swarming the drugstores. You can't even get in the parking lot. It's unbelievable. These people coming in paying $1,000 a month for my Trulicity that I can't afford and have to get insurance for. They're paying cash for it, getting faulty prescriptions, fraudulent prescriptions, and doing everything in their power to get prescriptions to get my Trulicity for diabetes to lose some weight. How ridiculous is that? We tried to make it go viral, and well, we didn't, but mainstream media has picked up on this, alternative media has picked up on this, and it seems to be a fad that everybody is enjoying. Seems to be a big deal. Seems to be really cool. We're in mono. I would like to be in stereo. Could we do that? Let me see if we can do that. I'm in mono. I don't like mono at all. Let me see. Mono's all we got, so that's cool. Let's see what effects are. What kind of effects do we have here? Uh, ooh, I got a gunshot, man. Ooh, that sounds really weird. Oh my God, it's time to go back from recess, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah, get that picture of that man. That's good. Crazy, crazy stuff. Unbelievable. Yeah, let's see what this is here. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. No, sit down, everybody, settle down. It's okay. Oh boy, we're gonna give Max that when he gets on board. Yeah, Max. Yep, Max 17. There he is. Oh boy, give Max a standing ovation. Live audience here tonight, as you can hear, ladies and gentlemen. It's just wild in this auditorium tonight. Massive, massive, crazy, crazy in the green room. We've had all kinds of partying going on back in the green room. Finally made it out to the main set and the studio here, and trying to get the engineers kind of geared up and kind of ready to run this board here. If we can get Max in here and actually get a conversation going live, that will be amazing tonight. I'll be happy. If not, I'm just going to kill it and go watch a movie. And so, but yeah, we're here, Max and I. First night, really. First night. First big night on Spreaker. Back again, talking about the clueless, massive, passive zombie apocalypse is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. What? Huh? I don't know if he's here or not. I have no idea. I mean, I can look on Skype and see. Let me see if old Max is here. Let's see what's going on. No, I don't see anything going on. Max getting ready for show. What does that mean? Oh, well, that was you talking to Max, wasn't it? Okay, good. Let me see. Yeah, Max is at work. Ladies and gentlemen, it's really tight in this space here. It's kind of like a small Cessna aircraft. Kind of hard to get around here in the front of the studio. But I wouldn't ask Max at work. I would not bother him at all. I mean, I would not bother him. What do you say? Huh? He needs to know what? Oh, okay. So when you are ready, what you spell ready? Red R? She's trying to spell. Marion's having trouble spelling. She's one of the best spellers in the world. I'm actually better than her because I use Grammarly. You know, Grammarly is really good for all of you poor spellers out there. And of course, GPT-3. If you're a bad writer, bad musician, bad composer, bad narrator, whatever you need to do, you just go to GPT-3 and it'll handle all of it for you. Amazing, ladies and gentlemen, totally amazing. Um, I love walking around and talking with my headset on. Man, when I'm tethered, I cannot be tethered to a headset. I just cannot. I feel like I'm a slave or something with a chain and ball around my leg, ball and chain around my leg. But This show is crazy tonight. I feel so insane being back on air and not having Max here. So lonely. I'm so lonesome. I'm so lonesome I could cry. Yeah, I'm lighting a cigarette. I'm in the smoking room, in the boys' room. Smoking in the boys' room is what I'm doing. Waiting for my co-host, superstar co-host, to come on. Coughing in the microphone, very rude. But we're live. It's a live show, man. All kinds of crap happens here. But tonight, we do have some very interesting things to talk about when Max gets here concerning the zombie apocalypse is on us, ladies and gentlemen, for real. I know that many of you don't believe that. Many of you just can't swallow it, but it's true. The zombie apocalypse is here, and the reset is here, and the social credit scoring system is here, and the digital passport is here, and the CBDC is here, and the central banks that have been gearing up for this digital surveillance coin have been going on for 10 years is here. And they're getting ready to roll it out. So get ready for bank closures and get ready for possible electromagnetic pulse event. Get ready for a grid down event. We've got rolling blackouts throughout the world. We've got a uh, major earthquake in Turkey, I think. Major destruction. I got to check this out while we're on air. I'll have Marion check it out. But major problems around the world. Global catastrophe, global chaos is happening as we are live here tonight, and it is really amazing that there are so many stupid people out there who just have no idea what's going on. I've talked to several of them today. This evening, I talked to a pastor actually who called me on the phone. Mary had gone to this church and had spoken to the pastor after hearing him talk about absolutely nothing for 4, 5, 6 Sundays about anything that's going on in the world today. Slipped him a note and said, "You need to talk to Kiler Davenport and let your congregation know what's happening." Well, he called me on the phone today, and I was out at the drugstore, and I answered on my headset. I never hold my phone and talk; it's not very safe. But anyway, he heard my geopolitical analysis of what's going on around the world and said, basically, you're crazy. All you need to know is Jesus, and you'll be fine. That's all you need to know, nothing else. And I'm not going to talk to my congregation about any of this stuff, and I'm not going to teach them about any of this stuff. I'm not going to warn them about any of this stuff. I'm not going to inform them about any of this stuff because they'll run away, and the other half won't understand, and the others will hate my guts. And so I'm not going to talk about it. So I said, well, that's the most insane thing I've ever heard in my entire life. The most stupid thing coming out of a pastor's mouth I've ever heard in my entire life. You know, Hagee, it's not Hagee, is it? Yeah, it was famous for talking about what's going on around the world. And they're probably trying to stifle him or censor him. Have already, I don't know, knocked him off. I don't know. Several pastors are talking about what's going on around the world. Somebody told me the other day, oh, churches aren't allowed to do that. They're not allowed to get involved in politics. Well, yeah, they are. And they do all the time. I'm sorry, what? Kenneth Hagee? What? Yeah, but Kenneth Hagee was famous for talking about what's going on around the world from his church pulpit. And boy, did he do it good, let me tell you. But you know, ladies and gentlemen, they are censoring the hell out of us and every other producer in alternative radio. You know, I did a major study and found out that mainstream media has been completely taken over by the Central Intelligence Agency. You guys and girls out there are so silly. You watch the mainstream media, you're watching nothing but a psyop. Just a major psyop is all you're watching. That's all you're doing. You're just watching psychological operation taking place right in front of your very eyes and going into your ears. And Between your ears. What is between your ears? Cotton, air. What is it? I'm gonna have a V8. Have a V8. But yeah, it's uh, it's amazing that all this stuff is happening and nobody seems to know what the hell is going on. And it's just it blows my mind, man. It just totally blows me away to talk to these people that just are clueless to anything that's going on. And I'm not talking about just two or three people. I'm talking about two or three hundred people. You know, I mean, the list goes on and on, millions and millions. I mean, people are just totally clueless. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Many people are scratching their head, going, "Wow, something's up here." You know, things are not good. But they really are not digging down deep, going down deep in the rabbit hole and learning some of these more advanced things that are happening as far as technology and artificial intelligence and the social credit scoring system and the digital passport and the 15-minute cities and the smart cities, and they're not understanding what's going on there at Davos, and they're not picking up on what's going on with the World Economic Forum over there with Klaus Schwab and his bunch of goons, and they're coming for you. They're coming for you, every one of you. They're coming for you, and they're going to get you and your children too. You're going to be eating crickets and grasshoppers and June bugs and stump larvae here pretty soon. Soylent Green, it is, and George Orwell's 1984 is here, ladies and gentlemen, as well as the 10 planks of the Communist Manifesto, manifesting itself right before your eyes here in real time in the simulation. Yeah, right here in real time. And most of you just don't get it. Boy, I tell you, I can talk to you and talk to you and talk to you. It goes from one ear and out the other. If I look through your ear, I can see to the other side of the wall. There ain't nothing there. Most of you, just nothing there at all between your ears. Your brain has been swiped. It's been taken. It's been stolen. It's gone. Stick your finger in your ear right now and just see if you can feel anything in there. It's amazing how many people have air between their ears. It's I don't know. Of course, it's the environmental factors. You know, that are so many environmental factors involved here with the advent of mind control technology, which has been going on for eons. And as I was telling Marion this morning, the indoctrination and the propaganda and programming is massive. You know, MK Ultra on crack is what we're looking at now, with all of the chemtrails spewing out all of the barium and aluminum and selenium and all of the psychotropics and nanoparticulates and smart dust technology, 5G technology, fluoride, GMOs, and all of the other things that are happening with our pharmaceuticals coming out with all of the little nanoparticulates in them and all of our food that's been injected with all of these weird technologies, mind control technologies, and the CRISPR technology and the hydrogel technology and the mRNA technology that happened there at Boston University in the Wuhan lab there that was funded with your taxpayer money in the trillions, probably, and of course, Big Pharma has, thousands and thousands of patents along with the WHO and the CDC that are supposed to be protecting all of you from these things, and instead they're killing you slowly. But yeah, just literally amazing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm speechless, really. It's hard for me to even come up with words to describe just how bad this situation is right now and what's coming to you. I can only laugh. I mean, I've come to the point where I've gone through the sadness and the suffering and the insanity and the worry and the stress and the drama and all of that. And I've just come to the point where I'm just laughing this whole thing off. Um, I met someone today that was in agreement with me that we get to a point where we just look out and go, wow, this is just stupid. We just laugh it all off. It's a game, it's a dog and pony show, like Ukraine is just a big dog and pony show. It's just all theater. Wag the dog. They're laundering money. The United States and every other rogue country in the world laundering money through Ukraine going back and funneling right back into the politicians and the unelected people's pockets. And we're talking billions and billions and billions. I would like to just have a 1/10 of 1% of what's been extorted from the American people, and I would be a multi billionaire. Just amazing. Marion and I are trying to figure this out so we can get in on the deal here and fund some causes, fund some community outreach, fund some critical outreach, and fund some of our feeding programs for the homeless and the hungry. Steal from the rich and give to the poor. You know, the old Robin Hood methodology is what we want to do. It's amazing what is coming. J.P. Morgan buying up $1 billion in real estate. Wow, this was amazing. All of these major banks now are buying up all the real estate now that these 60 plus million people have been forced out of their homes through illegal foreclosures. Uh, the banks are going in and swiping all these homes up, and they're going to be selling them uh, pretty cheap. Banks are fraudulent as hell, taking in all of your money and making just zillions of dollars on your accounts and your pension checks and your IRAs and all of your deposits. The banks are able to go in and manipulate those funds and just turn them into riches unimaginable for the lords who are lording over those banks, the masters of deceit that are pulling the strings, pushing the buttons, and pulling the levers behind the scenes at these central banks and these branch banks alike, along with the Federal Reserve that is not federal at all. It's a private organization, privately owned, and it's amazing. Your city councils are all privately owned. Your city charters are all traded on Wall Street. It's amazing. We don't have a government. We don't have counties. We don't have states. We don't have cities. None of these things are real. It's all just what it's a fiction. It's just science fiction. It's a psychological operation, and it's one that has advanced to a point that is, like I said, incomprehensible to the average person. You have to really, really, really stick your head into this for a while to get the hang of what's going on here in the Matrix, in the simulation that we're living in. We're not living in a physical material reality. We're living in a simulation of some kind. We really don't know what it is, but we know it's not a material physical reality. From Einstein to Niels Bohr and on. Aristotle, Plato, Nietzsche, all of the great philosophers, and all of the secret societies have known this for thousands upon thousands, if not millions of years, that we're living in just this massive illusion, this massive fiction, this massive simulation that just keeps perpetuating itself. And we are AI, we are avatars and we are artificial intelligence, we are avatars, we are the Matrix, we are the simulation, we are the game, and we are avatars in the game. And now we're creating other avatars from this game that are going to make us obsolete in our part of the game. So there you go. This is how all this works. And I know it looks physical, I know it looks material, but it's not. The brain has this magical little trick that it does to formulate all of the incoming data and all of the incoming streams of energy and vibration and frequency and turn that into something that resembles what you call reality. And so, of course, there is no truth within that. There is no God or religion or education or healthcare or infrastructure or wars or rumors of wars or tornadoes or cyclones or tsunamis or earthquakes, tectonic plate movement. All these things just illusions. You're in a game. You're just playing a big game. Most of you just can't figure it out. And this is why you're trapped in the matrix. You're trapped. You're stuck. You're depressed. You're down. You're out. You're broke. You're broken. Uh, and you're going to stay that way until you get this figured out. And then when you get it figured out, you're going to go insane, partially insane. Producer, could you put any more V8s in the freezer, please? That would be a blessing, man. I'm going to drink about four of these tonight. How about that? Um, this V8 juice is just to die for, ladies and gentlemen. It's like being on the beach out in Tahiti, just kick back. Since I don't drink martinis and all of that kind of stuff, I don't drink anymore. Thank goodness I quit drinking about 15 years ago or something like that, and I feel so much better. It's amazing how much better I feel since I quit drinking. Now, if I can just get off the crack and the heroin and the opium, I'll be all right. I'm only kidding. I don't do any of that at all. I don't do any of that at all. So, I don't do anything really. I'm the most one of the most boring individuals on the planet. Um, I mean, how exciting can you be drinking V8 juice? How exciting is that? Wow, let's have a party. V8 party. Um, I do have a little psilocybin here that's been synthesized in the laboratory, and I do take some of those, but I'm not really sure what they do to me. It doesn't feel like they do much, but maybe they help some. I don't know. I mean, we're in a simulation now. Maybe they put me in another simulation or some other altered state of mind or something. Because you're in an altered state of programming now. You're in an altered state, altered dimension. You're in an altered digital quantum field. You're in a massive energy field, cosmological energy field, a field of vibration, all of these different spectrums within the field, some visible, some not visible. And then you have the vibration going on within the field of energy and the spectrum of frequency that creates the illusion of reality. All of the organs in your body, your avatar, have different frequencies and different energy levels and different vibratory patterns going on all of the time, constantly. Your heart, your lungs, your liver, your intestines, your spleen, your brain, they all run at different levels of frequency, different energy levels. It's all about electricity. It's all about energy, frequency, and vibration. 369, Telsa, 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 Nikolai, Telsa. He had it all figured out. Free energy. We've got free energy now, but they just won't release it. I mean, we've seen the effects. We've seen the effects. We know that free energy exists. It's happened all over the world in experiments. It's happening right now, even on YouTube. People are showing free energy, but nobody gets it, and we still doing the petro thing, the petro. We got to have the petro, got to have the petro, got to have the oil of all those dead dinosaurs. All these idiots are still believing the lie that oil came from dead dinosaurs. I don't know how stupid can people really get? How stupid can people really be? Well, the answer is really stupid. Really, really, really stupid. And here we are now going through this singularity, coming to this major event horizon with artificial intelligence running at speeds that are just unimaginable. Assimilating data at unimaginable speeds that are just beyond anything that I can even imagine or calculate. I mean, it's uncalculable. Uh, what these computers are able to do now, and we're looking at a global scale. We're talking about on a global scale now. They're running this surveillance on everyone around the world who has an electronic device or not. Really, I believe they're capable of even doing this to people that are not even around Wi-Fi or have a smartphone or a laptop or an iPad or anything else. It's totally amazing what they're doing to the avatars in the game. And of course, time travel is a very faddish kind of thing that's been going on forever. Time travel is not something new. You have people on Facebook saying, "Oh, one day we'll be able to time travel. Is it possible?" Well, that's been going on for millions and millions of years. How do you think we got here? You know, how do you think we got here? There's people popping in and out of time, traveling all over the universe in different dimensions and other worlds and wormholes and traveling this way and that way all the time. It's just coming and going. It's a mad, crazed freeway. of time travel. And you guys are asking, well, are we ever going to get there? Are we ever going to be able to do that? Well, yeah, we've already done that. We've been doing that for millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and gazillions of years. It's, you know, they keep secrets very well. I'll tell you, the avatars are pretty stupid. They've jacked us down pretty much. They've decreased our IQ level enough to where we're like, huh? What? Duh. Huh? Say that again? um, you're so dumb. You don't realize how dumb you are. I mean, until you really stop and think about it. You really just don't know how enslaved you are and how clueless you are, how completely stupid you are until you really take a hard look in the mirror and figure some of this stuff out that's going on around you, and you just realize how much you don't know. Right? How much you do not know that you thought you knew, and everything that you thought you knew was a lie. Everything you thought you knew is just fiction. Everything you think you know is just a dog and pony show. It's just theater. This whole thing about the war, with China, Ukraine, Russia, Taiwan, NATO, Poland, Warsaw, Latvia, all of these things that are going on. It's just a dog and pony show. Wag the dog. Did you see Wag the dog? Plug Wag the dog in tonight and watch that show. You'll love it, and it's what's going on right now. It's just a major psychological operation that's going on, and boy, are they successful. Let me tell you. And when you figure out the code to all of this and you break the code, you're going to just be amazed. You're going to you're going to be super 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 astonished, shocked to no end. And it's going to be really difficult for you to swallow. It's really hard to swallow once you kind of start figuring out what's going on. Kind of get a glimpse of what the matrix really is. Kind of get a glimpse of what kind of world you're existing in, what kind of capsule, what kind of bubble, what kind of simulation, what kind of matrix you're existing in. Very hard to swallow. Very hard to swallow. You have to chew on it for a long, long, long time just to even get a basic idea of what's happening here in the matrix. And it can be scary. It can be very, very terrifying to get a glimpse of this. It can drive you to utter insanity, drive you over the edge, to some institution where they'll lock you up and put you in a straitjacket and throw you in the floor naked on a concrete floor and shoot you full of Thorazine, and you'll be there for 5 years or so. I mean, it's really that crazy. It's really that crazy when you figure some of this stuff out. It'll drive you over the edge. I mean, I've had to go through, like I said, phases of suffering and grief and worry and insanity and confusion to get to where I am now, to where I can stabilize a little bit. Um, when we fly, when we pilot our aircraft, we have stabilization. Aircraft have to be stable, in flight. And it's kind of like that, when you start learning this stuff, you start going through like, you start going through really rough weather. Like, you're flying at 30,000 feet and you all of a sudden hit a major thunderstorm and your aircraft drops 100 or 300 feet and you lose control and you start spiraling out of control and you have to pull the aircraft back up and then you go into a stall and then you're in unstable flight and then flight control is not working, autopilot's off, you're in manual control. So that's what it's like learning about what's going on in the matrix. It's like flying an aircraft and then hitting turbulence, really really rough turbulence at 30 or 40,000 feet, flying at over 500 miles an hour and dropping 1 to 300 feet and having to go through this for 30 minutes to an hour, 4 hours, 5 hours. It's really difficult, to grab a hold of. And like I said, for most of you, this stuff goes in one ear and out the other because your brain is programmed not to listen to this kind of information, not to retain this type of information, not even to ask questions concerning this type of information, just blow it off, blow it off, let it go in one ear and out the other, as being something unreal, something fictitious, something I just made up. I'm crazy. I need medications. Kyler Davenport's insane. Spewing out all of this kind of crazy stuff. But it's all real. It's all real. And I guess that's the scariest part. Damn it, to even me, it's all real. I wish it wasn't real. I wish we were physical material beings with a God and Jesus and angels flying around helping everybody, is great, and people praying and people getting well and oh you're blessed and blessed and blessed. This black woman came on Facebook today all dressed up and she's always all dressed up with nowhere to go and she thinks she's something special. And I just told her today, she said, "Oh, it's another day to be blessed, another day to smile and look good." I said, I told her all the terrible things that are going on in the world under her post, and just called her just the most vain bitch in the world. I mean, just vanity and vexation to the max. You know, Max. No pun intended, Max, if you're listening. But yeah, just crazy, crazy black woman, just crazy, insane, man, totally insane. I mean, this woman is crazy, man. She's cray cray. She knows absolutely nothing about what's going on in the world. And she just walks around with a big grin on her face all the time. And she's like, whoa, what's going on? Everything is beautiful and we're all blessed and we're all beautiful people. And the world is just so wonderful and everything is just kumbaya. Let's just sing kumbaya together. And I'm like, lady, you're insane. You're crazy. You're off the wall. You're one of the biggest airheads I've ever encountered on my Facebook page. But I'm sure that you all meet people like this every day. I'm sure most of you do. A lot of you do. You meet people like this. If your eyes are halfway open, you're looking at these other people going, "Damn, these people are stupid." You know. And then you have people going around with these big baby diapers on their face. I call them baby diapers. They're wearing baby diapers and they're 6 foot distancing and oh my God, they're scared to death. They're going to catch some horrible disease or something, and they're wearing these baby diapers to protect themselves. And if you don't have a baby diaper on, they don't get too close to you. And I'm like, I don't get too close to them because I don't want them to shed on me. I don't want them to shed those 3 jabs and a booster all over me. Puke that stuff up. And shedding is bad, man. You got to stay away from these zombies because it's catching. Whatever they have is catching, and you have to keep them away from your children. You know. People were asking me today about what is China going to do? What's the ultimate outcome here, possible outcome here for China or Russia or North Korea? What are they up to? What are they going to do? Well, it's all it's pretty well been figured out that or determined or ascertained that what they're doing is they're playing with us right now. They're playing with us like a little cat would play with a mouse. With these hacks, they're hacking all of our infrastructure. They're hacking all of our corporations, all of our major corporations, all of our banks. Like this balloon diversion. Balloon flying over, Montana or whatever. Just a big diversion. The Pentagon said, "Oh yes, we know it's a spy operation," blah 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 blah. And then somebody told me, "Oh, they shot it down. I got pictures of it. They shot it down." I'm not sure what happened, and I'm really not sure. I haven't really looked into that. I really didn't care too much at the time. I got a lot going on here in the newsroom, other fish to fry. But people are asking me, "What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Are they going to nuke us?" Well, that wouldn't be very smart. It wouldn't be very smart, even though the United States is surrounded right now with war machines from China and Russia. Completely surrounded. We're completely surrounded with, you know, uh, enough nuclear power to just blow the United States into a big crater. Turn the United States into just a giant crater within minutes. And Russia and China, North Korea probably too, and a few other countries have the capability of letting off electromagnetic pulse technology, you know, going to altitude of 40,000 feet or 150,000 feet or whatever they want to do, and detonating that technology and creating a pulse so dangerous and so devastating that it knocks out all of the power from Canada to Mexico and all of the way to Washington D.C. to the Pacific Ocean. All the power is gone. All the power is gone, and that's probably what's going to happen. They're just playing with us now. They're playing with us. They're trying to see what Biden's made of. Trying to see what the Pentagon is going to do with some of these tricks, and treats that they're throwing out there. And so they're waiting, they're watching, they're listening, they're surveilling, they're monitoring, they're profiling, and their AI is telling them, well, these people are weak, they're stupid, they're clueless, they really don't know what the hell's going on. NATO is falling apart. NATO countries are against each other. They're, infighting. Some are threatening to attack Russia over there. Some of these countries are like, we're going to attack Russia. We're going to attack Russia. And the Pentagon's like, no, 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 don't do that. And then China's flying into Taiwanese airspace, tantalizing them and taunting them. And, Taiwan hasn't fired at them yet. And they keep flying into their airspace. And then here the other day, we had a nuclear sub surface just off the Gulf Coast. And our military didn't even know it was there. They're like, oh, what the hell? There's a nuclear black sub here that's got enough firepower on it to just blow a big crater in the middle of the United States, and we don't even know it's there. It just surfaced and said, "Hello, we're here, 100 miles off your Gulf Coast shore. We're here, and what are you going to do about it? You know?" And then here comes a balloon from China. What are you going to do about it? And we don't do nothing. We just sit back like a bunch of idiots, morons, and go, well, I don't know what's going on, really. We should just kind of back off and watch and see what happens. Let's wait until they blow a few craters in the middle of the United States. Let's wait until they maybe, let off a big bomb or something with maybe some new biological, chemical, deadly toxins in it and kill several million people, and then we'll fire something off, or whatever. I mean, they just don't know what they're doing. This administration is nuts. I mean, I think if Trump was in office when this balloon came over, all hell would have broke loose. And I think this Taiwanese thing would not be going on at all if Trump was in office. That's just my opinion. A lot of you think Trump is dark state, deep state. A lot of you think Trump's a player in the WEF game, and but I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. I just don't believe it. I think Trump, he wouldn't put up with any of this shit that's going on. Trump thinks this administration is completely retarded, literally retarded. And many of the geopolitical analysts that I know, and many of the super duper intelligence officers that I know and have contact with, told me that this administration is just mentally retarded. And they just don't know what the hell is going on. They're just not with it. They're not up to par. They're not up to speed on what's going on. They don't have a plan. Like the Republicans don't have a plan. The Democrats don't have a plan for what they're going to do in the United States in the election years coming back. Up when the elections come back up, and we're supposed to appoint a new president. Who are they going to appoint? Presidents aren't elected; they're appointed. I wonder who they're going to appoint. I hope it's not this retarded vice president we have. She's a complete idiot. I mean, she is a joke. She's a complete embarrassment. And Nancy Pelosi's another retard. I mean, she's gone now, but she's rich. She got rich and left. China paid her off, and she retired or whatever she's doing now, at home knitting and purling and making doilies. I don't know what she's doing, but Obama's still running the show. We haven't got rid of him. He's still running the show. He's controlling the Biden administration. Obama's running the Biden administration. Obama is a major player in the World Economic Forum. Obama is a major player in all of this stuff that's going on, all these psychological operations. Very, very powerful. Hillary Clinton is still a major player in what's going on around the world with this World Economic Forum. And the United Nations is one of the most corrupt uh, organizations since the League of Nations formed so many years ago and became the United Nations, which was supposed to be a good thing, but it turned out to be one of the most rotten, corrupt, diabolical organizations on the planet. It's just it's unbelievable how this could even be possible. I wonder sometimes if the American people are all not semi-retarded. They just don't know what to do. They just sit around eating ice cream and going to Whataburger and McDonald's and Burger King and Pizza Hut, and they're having farting contests and they're watching drama on TV and Dancing with the Stars and all this other shit, and they don't care. They don't really care what's going on at all. They just, as long as they get their beer and their joints, their doobies and their popcorn, and as long as they can play their games on their telephone and talk to stupid people all day with clueless conversations, they don't care what's going on. They have no clue. They don't care to have a clue. For some reason, they just don't even know that we're at war right now. We're at war right now, and what's coming is beyond the imagination. What is coming is just unbelievable. They've been conditioning all of you avatars out there for years for what's coming with the digital passport, the social credit score, and the smart cities, and the zone you're going to be put in: quarantine, lockdowns, new pathogens, new shots, new vaccines. All of these things are coming. They've killed millions of our animals here, slaughtered them in the United States, and we've had all of these food factories burned down, all of these distribution centers burned down. We've had the grid, the infrastructural grid attacked. I don't know how many times through hacking, major hacking events have gone down. Rolling blackouts are happening all over the world, all over the U.S. right now. The mainstream media is not covering hardly any of it whatsoever. Um, if I were you guys, I would buy silver right now because fiat currency is going away. And I would advise all of you to go out and buy at least 200, 300, 400, $500 worth of silver as soon as possible, ASAP. Get on the ball, buy that silver, man, because it's going to go sky high, baby. Let me tell you, it's going to go sky high. Gold's going to go sky high. I think gold's going to come down before it goes up. But gold to me is a rich man's game. I don't have the money for it. I love silver because I can go out and get a pocket full of silver for $300 to $500, and I love to hear that jingle. And it's magic to just throw it on the table and hear it jingle. That beautiful sound it makes. Um, and that's really the only thing that you're going to be able to spend in a grid down situation. And as I said today on Facebook, I told everybody you're going to be eating your pets, so keep them fat, keep them fat and healthy, because you're going to be eating your cats and dogs and birds and whatever other hamsters, whatever pets you might have at home. You're going to be using them for supper, eating them for supper. If we have a grid down situation, people are going to be attacking all of the animal shelters, having gourmet dinners out there and big parties, eating all the animals. They're caged up. That's going to be like, oh my God, what a celebration this is. But then when all that's gone, they'll be eating each other or their children or whatever. Whatever's, what's on the menu tonight? Oh, little Johnny over there looks pretty good. Little Susie has a little more meat on her bones. We'll just cook her up tonight, throw her in the pot. So it's going to be a really savage situation that you guys aren't ready for. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for cannibalism? Are you ready for your city to fall apart, your community to fall apart? Are you ready for the gangs to come in and start robbing you and raping and pillaging and burning everything down and stealing all of your property? Are you ready for this? Are you locked and loaded? Do you even know what's going on? Wake up! Wake up! Wake up out there! Um, God, I feel sorry for all of you, really. Uh, we're in no better shape here, really, to tell you the truth. We're not where we should be by any stretch of the imagination. We had a meeting, Marion and I, once we found out what's really coming down the pike here quicker than we thought. You know, they're wanting to destroy, get rid of 90 million people by 2025. They're wanting to just get rid of 90 million people by 2025. And by golly, I think they're going to do it. And a lot of you say, oh, that's just not possible. Yeah, well, look what Mao did. Look what Stalin did. You know, look what uh, Xi Jinping has done. Look at all of these dictators, what they have done, and how many hundreds of millions of people have been slaughtered. Look at this. Yeah, it's coming to a city near you, and Soylent Green is here. You know, it's real. The zombie apocalypse. It's real. It's upon us right now. And so, are you prepared? Are you ready? You have locks on your windows? You have deadlocks and deadbolts on your doors, front and back doors, side doors? Do you have locks on your kids' windows? Do you have weapons? Are you locked and loaded? Do you know how to use those weapons? Do you have weapons hid around the house, around the backyard, in secret places in case the marauders take you around and lead you around here and there? You've got a knife or something, butcher knife hid somewhere. You need to have all that, and plus you need to have your food supplies hid. You don't want to put all your food supplies in the kitchen pantry or whatever, or the storeroom. They're going to go straight there. You want to hide that stuff, you know, find a good hiding place and hide all the food and the fresh water. You want to hide all the fresh water, bury it in the ground, whatever you got to do, bury it. Um, you know, if you have any cash, you know, hide it, bury it, you know, and they'll be watching. They'll be watching when you go out to dig it up. Somebody will be watching with a scope from 100 yards away, 200 yards away, 300 yards away. They'll be watching. Um, Let me go up here and reconnect to the internet and see if I can't lose my show. That's so I'm reconnecting now. And see, there it is. I'm reconnecting, and we're back. We're back live. So we were. I don't know how long we were spinning there, but we were spinning for a while, and that's not a good thing. I was just talking about: are you prepared for what's coming? Are you prepared for the riots, the civil unrest? Are you prepared not to have your prescriptions on hand? Are you prepared not to have the store shelves full of food? Are you prepared to starve practically to death? Are you prepared not to have enough water on hand? Are you prepared to not have any cash on hand? Get your money out of the banks right now. I told you guys the banks own your money. When you open a bank account, you give your money up. It's no good. You give your money up. You give your money away. The bank owns it. The bank owns your safety deposit box. They control and own everything. They're just loaning your money back to you is all they're doing. You know, it's a privilege. Really, it's not a right. It's a privilege. And so you need to get all your money out of the banks now, and just leave $100 in the account. Pay all of your bills with cash or money order or whatever you have to do. Okay, but get your money out of the banks because once the electromagnetic pulse hits, or the grid down situation, or the hackers come in full fledged, you're not going to have an ATM machine. It's not going to work. Banks are going to be closed, and stores are going to be, shelves are going to be empty, lights are going to be off, water's going to stop running, toilets are going to stop flushing. There won't be any gas unless you have propane or a wood stove or a fireplace, and you're going to be screwed. I mean, you are literally going to be screwed, okay, and hoodooed. And there's not going to be any way that you can pull out of it, huh? There's not going to be any way that you can pull out of it, okay? You are just done for, okay? And I warned you tonight. I'm warning you. See, I'm warning all of you tonight. So don't come back to me and say, "Oh, you didn't tell us, Kyler, about this and that and the other." Well, I'm telling you about everything that's getting ready to happen. I'm shaking my shake up. I'm shaking my shake up. I'm drinking a shake Mary made me. But you guys can't say that I didn't warn you about all this stuff, okay? Because it is coming. It's not a matter of if, but when. Ah, my co-host is still not here. I don't know what's going on with him. I really don't. I have to shoot him again. I'm gonna shoot him again. Yeah. lightning here really bad. Man, it's fixing to rain. I mean, the rain is coming in like you wouldn't believe. You hear that thunder? God, that lightning. Unbelievable stuff going on here. My gosh. Really scary. Here comes some marauders firing. Man, this is dangerous. Dangerous location we're in here. Oh, it's terrible. This is gangland, ladies and gentlemen. This is gangland. We're in an undisclosed location here in the Pacific Rim, and I tell you, it's very scary to be in this 31-foot command unit. But it is nice to be able to take your home and just roll away with it. That's what I love, and having this generator turned on kind of scares me. Got a 2,000-watt generator running right now, running the whole show here, powering up everything, and I think we're running live out there on several pages right now. It's kind of weird. I'm not used to this, running on Icecast and Shoutcast and this cast and that cast and other cast. It's amazing. Sometimes you just think you're talking to yourself. And when Max is not here, it's really bad. And I'm going to have to figure out what's going on with this overtime business. Is going to really cut into our plan here. I don't know what we're going to do about that. We're going to have to see. Max, if you're listening, give us a call and kind of let us know what is going on. You know, I'm going to take another drink of my shake here. And then today, of course, the extraterrestrial thing came up with one of my people that are very alert and oriented. And they were just freaked out about that. They were like, well, you know, the World Economic Forum is just a bunch of puppets on a string compared to the AI. I mean, well, the AI, yeah, that too. But the extraterrestrials that are running the show at the top, food chain, it's the extraterrestrials that are running everything, and and they have been running everything for forever. So, and people are asking me all the time, well, when are they going? When's there going to be disclosure? When are they going to disclose themselves? Well, they're not. Probably not. I wouldn't expect that anytime soon. That would literally freak people out and really mess things up because there would be all kinds of questions about God and Christianity and religion and blah blah blah, angels and demons and hell and heaven and all this other silly shit would come up. If there's extraterrestrials, then what is God and where's God and who's God and do these people know God? And just all kinds of questions. People be jumping out of windows, committing suicide, and all kinds of crazy stuff. So they're not gonna let you guys know what's going on 27 levels above top secret. They're not gonna let the general stupid public know anything. You guys just get the crumbs off the table. I mean, you're just eating crumbs off the floor. I mean, you're not really even present. To tell you the truth, uh, you're just not present. You're just barely here. Uh, just barely hanging on to a silly psyop. To a dog and pony show, wag the dog theater. It's all a three-ring circus. And you're all involved in it, and you're all a part of it, and you're all letting it happen. You're responsible for letting it happen. You're an accessory to all of these murders, all of these crimes against humanity, all of these terrible things that are happening. You're a direct accessory because you're paying for it. With your tax dollars, you're allowing the government to do whatever the hell they want, when they want, and how they want. So you're a direct accessory to all of this shit that's happening. So you can't say, "Oh, look at me, I'm special." No, you're not. You're just a murderer. You're involved in every scam and every hoax and every psyop and every crime against humanity that's happening. You're funding it. You're funding all of it. So basically, you're funding your own demise. You're funding your own demise. Now, isn't that insane? I mean, isn't that crazy? You're funding your destruction, your ultimate demise. You're paying for it. You're paying your own assassin to come and kill you. You're paying these people to overthrow your your government, your sovereignty, your country. You're paying these people to enslave you and to put you in bondage and quarantine you and lock you up and take away your rights and take away your First and Second Amendment rights and all of your other Bill of Rights. And you're funding all of this. How does it make you feel to know that you're investing in such a thing? I mean, how does it make you feel to know that that's where your hard-earned money is going? Uh, you know, I would feel pretty bad if I were you. Or I'd be hanging my head in shame right now. I'd be running for the woods. Why are you paying these people to do this? I mean, why? Why are you paying them? Why are you allowing them to take money out of your check? You have to work 4 months out of the year just to pay your taxes. Before you even start making a dime, you have to work 4 months, maybe five now, uh, maybe even half a year with the inflationary rate the way it is. But you're paying for all this Ukraine stuff. You're paying for all of the sex slavery and sex trade business. You're paying for all of the illegal weapons trade, all the illegal drug trade. You're paying for all of this other stuff that's happening around the world. All these crimes against humanity. You're funding it all. You're funding all of it. You're allowing all of it to happen. You're an accessory to all of it. You're consenting to let all of it happen. How does that make all of you feel? I don't care if you live here in Bangladesh or Vietnam or Costa Rica. I don't care where you live. You're funding all of these crimes against humanity. You are allowing these things to happen. They're happening because you're allowing them to happen. Okay? You've gotten complacent. Okay? You've gotten stupid. You've gotten lazy. You've just gotten very passive and submissive, and you're a moron, and you just don't care anymore. As long as you can get your Slurpee down at 7-Eleven and get a pack of cigarettes and have a little sex and have a drink or two and watch TV, you're fine. You don't give a damn who's being beheaded or whose little but JJ is being torn apart over in some foreign eastern country. You don't care how many people are being beheaded or burned alive and how many villages are being wiped out and how many millions of people are being killed. You don't care. You don't give a damn. As long as you get your little piece of the action, you don't care. So you're an accessory to the case. This whole country should be up in arms. This whole country should be rising up in revolution. And we should all be in the streets. Millions of us should be in the streets, and we should be saying, no, but hell no. Enough is enough. This stops here. The buck stops here right now. And we should be arresting all of these unelected officials that are running this country in the ground, and all of these elected officials that are running this country in the ground, and all of these other people from the World Economic Forum should all be in prison. They should be hanging by a rope. And all of you accessories probably deserve to be killed too because you're letting it all happen. You're paying for it. You're funding the whole mission. Okay, the whole mission of destruction and chaos you're funding with your tax dollars. Okay, so you can't say, "Oh, wham, 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 this is horrible." No, you're funding it. You're paying for it. When are you going to stop consenting? When are you going to stop paying for it? Huh? Well, many of you ask, well, what can we do? How can we do this? Well, it's a lot of sacrifice. It's a lot of sacrifice because your company takes the money out of your paycheck. But there are ways to get around that. There are paperwork that you can fill out to pay your own taxes and keep your money, and then have the IRS come after you and then deal with the IRS. So there's consequences to your actions and there's consequences to your inaction. You know, they say that inaction is action, and not making a choice is making a choice. So you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. You're damned either way you go. There is there's definitely consequences to non-consent. If you stop consenting to all of these crimes against humanity, if you stop consenting to all of the illegality in our justice system, and all of the other agencies and organizations out there, there are consequences to your actions. You will go to jail. You will go to prison. You will be fined. You will be chased. You will be profiled, and you will be labeled as a enemy of the state, as a heretic, as a person of interest. You will be tracked, traced, profiled. You will be put in a special database. You will be watched, monitored, uh, possibly put on house arrest, possibly, like I said, there are many, many consequences, dire consequences, to putting a stop to all of the things that are going on in this country and around the world. Each country really should be responsible for its own government, corruption. And the United States, I guess, should go ahead and just take care of our government here. All of these idiots up there in Washington should all be in jail. They should all be hanging from a rope, And as long as you keep letting them operate freely and you keep funding them and paying for it, you're agreeing to it. You're contracted with them. You're saying, "Go ahead. It's good. It's a good thing. Go ahead and do it. Whatever you do is fine with us. We'll keep paying for it." You know. And as long as you keep us fat and healthy, and feed us all this junk food at McDonald's, and keep the Burger King open and the Pizza Hut, and keep the beer joint open and the music playing, and the TV on, and the mainstream media running, we're fine. Go do whatever you got to do. Do as thou wilt. As Aleister Crowley said in his famous book, "Do as thou wilt," and go ahead and eat babies. Go ahead and do spirit cooking. Go ahead and drink your adrenochrome. Go ahead, take it out of these babies' spinal cords. Go ahead, sell those illegal organs. Who cares? Abort them babies at 9 months. Who gives a shit? Nobody cares. Go ahead. We'll fund it. Yeah, go ahead. We'll pay for it. Well, that's what you're doing. That's what all of you are doing. Every single one of you. That's what every single one of you are doing. Unless you're living out in the middle of the woods somewhere with a axe and a pocket knife and a small tent, and killing your own food and drinking water out of a creek, you're paying for all of this chaos and all of this insanity that's going on. You're just as guilty as the person doing it, if not more guilty, for allowing it to happen, for funding it, for making it happen. Yeah. So I want you all to think really hard about that. We may lose some sponsors over this, but I don't really care. To tell you the truth, I don't really give a jackery whether we do or not, because it's all true. Everything I'm saying is true. And you know that everything I'm saying is true. None of you can argue with me. None of you can argue with me. Not one. And I have a chat room here. I just opened up, and uh, nobody's here because they're all listening on the other pages. But I'll say hello anyway. But yeah, you're funding all of this reset. You're funding Agenda 21. You're funding Agenda 30. You're funding Agenda 50. You're funding the Wuhan lab. You know, um, you're funding um, all of the scientific Frankensteinian diabolical experimentation that went into these jabs. The gain of function research. You funded all of the gain of function research in Wuhan. You paid for all of that. So you're responsible for everyone who's dying from the jab. How do you like that? Do you like that? Do you like that? Does that make sense? You're responsible for every person that drops dead with a cardiac arrest or myocarditis or respiratory arrest or anything else, or has a ventricular fibrillation or a tachycardia or supraventricular tachycardia or any other kind of arrhythmia. You're responsible. Children, adults, senior citizens, you're responsible because you paid for all of that gain of function at Wuhan. You paid for the release of these pathogens, and you paid for all of the patents that have been filed for all of these deadly toxins and all of this chemical and biological agents that are being created. You're paying for all of that too. So I don't see how any of you, the pot calling the kettle black, I don't see how any of you can be proud of yourselves at this point in time. I really don't. I don't see how any of you can hold your head up really and look anybody in the eye. I don't see how any of you can even face me or talk to me about this because you can't win. You can't win. You can't even debate me on this, period. Unless you're living in a cave somewhere and you don't have a smartphone or a computer and you're not working and paying taxes to fund all of these crimes against humanity, then you can't face me at all, period. You just can't. Because you know I'm telling the truth beyond the shadow of a doubt. You know that I am telling the truth. And you cannot argue with me. There's no way. And this is going to get so crazy in the next 2 years if we make it that far. This is going to get utterly insane in the next 2 years. Things are going to change so rapidly and so drastically that you're going to wake up one morning and think that you have died and gone straight to hell. Okay? The draconian measures that are coming. Okay? The new laws that are being put in place by unelected officials. The new mandates that are coming down on from high from unelected officials. You're going to wake up one morning and think you've died and gone to hell. Okay? Or you're going to be sitting around here next week and all of the lights are going to go out and the toilet's not going to flush and the stove is not going to come on. The telephone is not going to ring because it won't work. Your smartphone is going to be dead. Your computer will be dead. Your iPad will be dead. Every electronic device will be dead. Your car will not start if it has a computer chip in it. It's dead. The gas pumps won't be working. You can't get any gasoline to go anywhere. Airplanes are going to be falling out of the sky by the hundreds. People are going to be dying by the thousands falling out of the sky. Because jets, everything will just stop. They'll have no aerodynamic capabilities. They'll have no directional capabilities whatsoever. All of their instrument panels will just cease to exist. Okay? And they'll just fall to the ground like a rock. Helicopters, airplanes, drones, whatever. Doesn't matter. Trains, no diesel trucks will be running. No food will be distributed. Okay? No banks will be open. No gas stations will be pumping gas. No stores will be selling food. No banks will be allowing money to be taken out. No ATMs will work. What are you going to do? Tell me, what are you going to do? What in the hell are you going to do? You're going to die. That's what you're going to do. You're going to die. Every single one of you. At least, at least 90 million or so of you are going to die. You might as well start making funeral arrangements just to kind of be ahead of the game, you know? Be a few chess moves ahead, you know? So you can kind of get comfortable with the idea of clinical biological death. You might as well go ahead and start preparing yourself for that moment to come. You'll see a flash of light possibly if they nuke us, and then about 8 seconds later, you'll just be a crispy critter. And if you're outside the kill zone, well, the radiation will kill you. Slowly, your skin will melt off of your bones, and your teeth will fall out. You'll go blind, and then you'll stagger into some alley and just melt. It's agonizing death. It's one of the most horrible ways to die that I could possibly imagine. It's unbelievable. Literally unbelievable. But You say, oh, well, these things are coming down the road maybe. No, they're here right now. I mean, right now, any second, this could happen. Any second. The trigger is ready to be pulled. The gun is loaded. The super gun is loaded. The machine is totally in effect right now. Everything is ready, okay? Everything is in place for the kill, okay? All it takes is for one nut to make one wrong decision, and it's on, baby. It is on. The shit is going to hit the fan, and it's game on, okay? And you're dead. Your children are dead. Your grandma, grandpa are dead. Your neighbors are dead. Your coworkers are dead, okay? Your friends, their friends, dead. See, I've come to grips with all of this. I've come to grips with all of this. I've made peace with all of this chaos that's coming. I'm ready to face it all head on, all of it. I'm ready to I'm ready for it to run its course. And really the sooner the better. Because we're being slowly killed right now as I sit here. We're being slowly killed. We're being slowly poisoned as I sit here. All of you, as you sit in your chairs or stand and listen to this show, you're being poisoned right now. You're inhaling nanoparticulates. You're inhaling aluminum oxide. You're inhaling all of these heavy metals. Your children are dying slowly. If you're holding them in your arms or holding them by the hand or looking at them sleeping, maybe in bed, they're dying right now. The Wi-Fi is killing them. Smart meters are killing them. The mind control is killing them. If they had the jab, the mRNA technology, the CRISPR is eating into their cellular structure. They're bleeding out inside. They will eventually die of cardiac arrest or some other horrible acute event will happen, as millions are experiencing right now. It's really a crazy, crazy situation that we've gotten ourselves into here, and there's no way out, really. There's no way out. I mean, everybody has been um, dumbed down to the point where they will not fight. You know, the general population will not stand up against this shit that's going on. They just don't have the strength. They don't have the passion. They don't have the energy. They don't have the knowledge. They don't have the wisdom. And they don't have the education. They haven't done the research. And they're just dumb as a box of rocks. They're just sheeple people waiting to go to the slaughter. It's Soylent Green, ladies and gentlemen. You're experiencing Mad Max. Mad Max, that's what's going to happen in the aftermath of this EMP or chemical biological attack or major hacking that happens is going to be a Mad Max scenario, unlike anything you've ever seen before. And it's going to be, like I said, you're woke up in hell. So prepare yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. I see my co-host is really working overtime, so I'm going to go. We're 1 hour and 41 minutes into the show. I'm sorry, what, producer? I'm sorry, what? My producer's coming over and check to see what's going on with our co-host here, and if I'm gonna, what I'm gonna do and where I'm gonna be. I really don't care at this point. I'm just so mellow tonight. I'm just so zoned. What? Huh? I'm just so zoned out tonight. I really just don't give a shit what. what happens. I've gotten to the I've gotten to that point where, like I said, I'm at peace with all of this, and I've come to terms with all of this, and I'm not worried about it in the least. Not in the least. I'm really not. And a lot of you have to go through a period of grief and sorrow and bewilderment, to get to where I am now. You have to go through the stages. I don't know how many stages to this. I mean, there's 5 stages to grief on death, there's 5 stages to grieving over someone dying. I don't know how many stages there are to this stuff because this is much more crazy than death. This is wow. This is like, man, this is 10,000 times worse than somebody just dying in your family or something. This is insanity, man. We're talking utter insanity that's coming. You know, uh, I mean, death would be better. I told Marion today and her mother, death would be so much better than what's coming. What we're going to have to suffer through while we're still alive and our eyes are still open and we're still breathing. It's horrible. Death would be so much better. You know, um, and I think many people will choose death over suffering through what's coming, what I know is coming. I think death is probably the answer right now, early, to get out early, uh, before the shit hits the fan, the real shit hits the fan. I mean, like I said, this has been a walk in the park so far for you Americans. This has been a walk in the park. None of you have any idea what's going on overseas. None of you have any idea what's going on in other parts of the world. They keep that from you. They black that out. They media blacks that out. They don't cover it. And so you really don't understand the horrific suffering that's going on around the world. You don't even know about the millions of people that are going through hell. You don't know about the millions and millions of people that are starving to death. You don't think about the millions and millions and millions and millions and millions that are homeless and living in dumpsters and dumps and trash dumps and sewers and underground subways in New York and all these crazy things that are going on. You don't think about the 2 million plus people that are having their organs ripped out while they're still awake over in China and then having their organs sold. You don't have any idea about these aborted babies that are being sold and having their organs taken out down the hall from the crack addicted mother, and the low income mother has her baby ripped out of her stomach, and they roll the baby down the hall and rip its organs out while it's still alive and then throw it in a bag and let it suffocate and then take it to the crematorium. You have no idea. Y'all have no idea. You're totally clueless to all this stuff. I was told the other night that we are one of the most prolific shows on alternative radio, one of the most dynamic, explosive, powerful, prolific shows on air today. One of the most dynamic, uh, fearless uh, shows, and I think that's very true. But I tell you, it doesn't win a lot of friends and influence a lot of people. It scares a lot of people off, and it doesn't make us rich. We're not getting monetized as quickly as we should be because of the message that we carry. It's such a dangerous, dangerous, depressing message that we have for you. You know, and that's it's just something that we have to do. I can't come on here and tell you a bunch of lies, and I can't come on here and fill you full of shit and blow smoke up your ass. I'm not going to do that, you know, and that's just the way it is. And if you can't deal with that, I'm sorry. You'll just have to not tune in anymore and listen. But I do ask that all of you prepare for the worst possible scenario that's coming. We're very, very, very close to waking up in that hellish situation. We're very, very, very close. Very, very close. And like I said, the trigger is the finger is on the trigger. The hammer has been pulled back, and that trigger could be pulled at any moment now. Any moment. Any moment. It's not like we have to wait and oh they have to prepare for 10 years or 5 years or no, it's ready right now. The death blow could come any second now. Any second. And we're talking about global world war. Global world war. Global devastation. Global chaos. Okay? Global unrest. Unlike anything you've ever seen or heard of before. So I'm going to go. I bid you peace. I bid you peace. And I ask that all of you make peace. All of you make peace with death. And all of you try to come to terms with where you are, what you are, who you are, and what you can possibly do to get through this hell that's coming. And as far as you not consenting, as I said, there are consequences to your actions of non-consent. Major consequences to your actions of uprising against the current narrative, the current dark state narrative. Major consequences. Okay. So you all take care, and I will see you next time here on um, wherever the hell we are here, Spreaker. My co-host didn't make it tonight. He'll have to talk to me about that. You guys take care, and I love you lots. And I want to say hello to Honor Guard, and I want to say hello to Jose, and I want to say hello to Tim and Dawson, and I want to say hello to all of my other friends out there um, on Facebook who understand what we're trying to do here. You know, understand why we're doing what we're doing, why we're saying what we're saying, why we're trying to prepare all of you for what's coming. You know, I'm not trying to save your life, but I am trying to put you in a frame of mind where you're ready and able to handle the chaos and the utter dystopian reality that's coming because it's going to be horrible. It's going to be horrible. So you all take care. I'm going to play a little music and then I'm going to head out of here. Bye bye.